Okay, we're about to get started. If you want to learn how to install your own micro sprinklers in your garden, in your flower beds, and you need to make your way right now over to the white tents where you'll be able to learn to do that. Good evening again, everyone. My name is Kay Mirage, and this is my husband, Linville Mirage, and we are the Island Gardeners. We're just hobby gardeners here in the Southeast Palm Bay, and we love gardening. But I was telling everybody earlier that I am the professional taster of fruits and vegetables. You feel like that's what you do as well? Yeah, so that's what I love to do. But sometimes I'm tasked with watering the garden, right? And we don't know how much water to put in. And sometimes we literally leave the hose and go back inside and on social media, and we forget we had the hose on. And of course, this is sustainability. We're talking about sustainability, and this is one way you can conserve water. Like one, watering your plants, plus two, you're conserving water. So Linville is going to demonstrate how we set up a micro sprinkler in our garden bed.
Hi, and good evening again, everyone. So when we just moved to Florida, I love gardening. So like most people, they just put the plants into the ground, give them the regular watering, wait on the rain to fall, stuff like that. Everything died. I'm sure many people have a similar experience. It's the sand here is, it not only does it not maintain water into it, but it doesn't take water any at all. After you get a small amount of rain, that fine sand actually locks up and it becomes impermeable. The water just runs off. And if you've never checked, when the rain falls next time, go outside, dig a few inches down, and you'll see it's dry. Correct? Yes. So when we realized this, we had to do something. So we got the wood chips. You can get the wood chips for free from FPL. You can check their website. Or if you see any of the utility persons that work with FPL, they drive an orange truck called with a sign called a splund. Yes, you'll see them cutting the branches. You can easily go to them and ask them to drop the wood chip off for you. There's also a free resource online. I think it's called Free Wood Chip Drop. You can also check them. They will deliver wood chips for free also. So adding the wood chips to your landscape, or even just the 4 feet around your fruit trees, makes a very big difference. It slows the water down, allows the water to seep into the soil, and that breaks down eventually and make great topsoil. So in our backyard, we added 86 truckloads of wood chip. Yeah. And over 2 years, most of you wouldn't be able to tell that any wood chip at all was there. It all broke down into very organic, rich, black soil that you would buy from the garden centers. And so that's where we are growing our fruit trees, and they're absolutely very productive there. So that's the first thing. You need to make some adjustments to your soil to ensure water goes in. Now, the other part about it is that watering needs to be consistent. And you water them today and you don't water them next week. But especially if they're fruiting, the fruit will just fall off if they're not getting consistent water. Unfortunately for us, again, here in Florida, during the times when most of these fruits start to produce flowers, within the January to April period, that's the time we have the least rainfall. So we need to water our garden during that time. And if you're growing fruits and vegetables, you have to at least have some kind of irrigation system if you don't want to go out there every day. During the winter months here, there are a lot of crops that grow very well: cabbages, broccolis, cauliflowers, all those brassica family. They do extremely well in the winter. You can plant them and have all year round vegetables for yourself. Now, the micro sprinkler systems. Yeah, no, I can. Yeah, you can start very slow with them. These systems, actually, they're sold for about $50, $60. but these are for a small area. So if you have like a 30-foot air space that you have your garden in, these systems would cover that. If you have more than that amount of space, you can easily buy the other systems. You can buy them, the hoses, not the independent systems. So, keep coming back for me. And then you can purchase the connectors for them and set them up. They're pretty easy to set up, very straightforward, not much difficulty into it. And then what you will do, you would add a timer to them, and this is a timer, and you just screw this timer onto your faucet, and depending on the one you choose, there usually is a instruction that will tell you exactly how to set them up. They also have timers that are smart timers that can be connected to your phone and your internet. But these cost like about $50, and this has 4 zones. So you can run 4 different set of times for your gardens. Not 4 different areas, and unlimited amount of timing in terms of days and time that you wish to water your garden. Right? So, yeah. So these, they are actually very simple push-on connectors. And these are 5/8 connectors.
Do you want to go show that front? One second, he's coming to show you because we're a little bit far away. I want to make sure you can see. But I can say I absolutely love it. We go on vacation and we don't have to worry about our plants. We have raised beds and our broccolis are doing well, and they just come on up and work. Oh yeah, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbages.
Yeah, and the thing is, well, I didn't know this about broccolis before, but when that plant comes up and you start cutting that, they just, as long as the weather permits, they keep producing. So yeah, until it gets hot, they keep us popping up. They're not as big as the first set, however, you keep getting broccoli from them. Alright, so this here is, this one is from a kit, and these are usually about between $50 to $70, depending on how much space you want to cover, how many connectors you want.
So I did want to just clarify. We bought a kit, and you can get it. We actually have, when you go to like our page, you'll see it online. It's a kit, it has all the connectors, so you don't need to buy multiple different things or trying to go to Lowe's and trying to find all these different connections.
Yes, so, these would come with everything that you would need to get started. But again, this would probably cover about 5 rows, about 20 to 30 feet thereabout. So depending on the space, and this doesn't come with a timer, so you would need a timer as well if you want to add a timer. But some people go by just turning on the faucet and have it. That's not too far from the hose. So I would say, I mean, even if you don't want to get a timer that costs $50, there are some cheaper ones. But at least you know if your garden is going to be watered twice a week, it will be watered twice a week, whether or not you're here, whether or not you remember, stuff like that. I do want to stress that you also need to check frequently to ensure that they're still working. Because from time to time, it has some of the strainers that stop debris from coming up inside there. And if you use well water or stuff like that, you might end up with stuff blocking it off and your garden might stop watering it. So these connectors, you just slide them on.
It's so easy. I think I'm going to ask somebody to do it here. Who wants to volunteer real quick? So I'll tell her what she needs to do.
Just slide them on, yes. It requires some force to put it on. And then screw on the end connector.
Got it.
And then screw it on.
Just screw that, yes.
All right, that's it.
From there you would, not quite, you put that one there. So this one actually holds two sprinkler heads. You have to twist it a little bit, yes. That's easy.
Do it.
And then you would place this on that end.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
No, no.
Yeah, right here. On the barb end.
Right here.
Let me take the pen so you may be able to do it.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time.
So as simple as that, you already have your first section in terms of setting up the sprinkler system.
And that's it.
And that's it. Come give her a round of applause.
Just push them on.
That's how simple it is. And we'll just show it you.
So yeah. So quick. So quick tip to put them on. You just wiggle them left and right. Yes, and it kind of stretches and pushes down easily.
Okay.
Yeah. It takes some getting used to it. But once you see how it goes on, you won't try to push it on. Just and
It's easier going that way
yes,
instead of
just,
twirling.
yes, it's like right now. And basically that's it. You just push on all the ends. So when it comes in, you can either put it at the root of one of your plant or put it inside of a pot. Or if you have flower pots or stuff like that, you just cut a longer end, put it inside your pot. And if you set it so that your plants are watered for 20 minutes or 30 minutes twice a week, then that channel would basically be watered twice a week for that particular time you set. They also have like feeding systems that are designed for these, where you can add, if you do your compost tea or other organic, you can just add them to it, and whenever the plants are watered, then it filters from that and adds some of the compost tea to your watering. So they're very useful.
And so as simple as that, we're going to show you what we have set up here and how it works. So we actually have, Linville went out and he had a pump and he has the timer. We're just going to show you as an example. And after we're done, you can just walk up and see it. This is great for garden, for your raised beds, because you just put it in and you can forget it. So we're just starting the pump. And we're gonna see if we get water in a minute. I don't know if it's easy to see or if we should bring it closer for everyone, but what we have here, you wanna tilt it a little bit?
That's not the one. So
Can you see?
So it's just a pump that we're running. It's not running at the pressure that you would have at home, but you can see that they are running water, and that's what will happen once your system comes on. You can also adjust each of these. So if you wish to turn one off, you can just turn it like that, and it shuts off. Or you can increase the water flow, reduce the water flow. I think they can go to about 1 gallon per minute. So yeah, that's the maximum. And if you have a small pot or a smaller plant, then you can reduce it depending on the plant's needs. If you have a small tree, then you can probably turn it to maximum, stuff like that. But it's very easy to manage a garden like this. And once you use like organic matter within your soil layer, what will happen is that these will ensure that you're around your trees, around your plants, they retain moisture, they are hospitable to the plants. Alright?
So just want to
There are
show
also
you.
these moisture kits that can give you idea of how many moisture is in your system. They also sell some of these for particular timers. So if you have a timer that supports a moisture, they call them rain sensor or something to that effect. What would happen is that once it detects that there's a certain moisture level that you set that is inside the soil, then it will skip that watering cycle. So if you had a heavy shower or rain and the soil is very moist, the ones that is designed for your timer would detect that you don't need any watering, and it would avoid you watering the garden at that particular time. Right.
And that one is really good because the worst thing to see a shower of rain, it was raining, and then you see somebody's sprinklers going on. You're like, what happened? But it's because they don't have that timer that actually has a sensor in terms of moisture. Again, if you're really concerned about conserving water, some of those are little tips that you can add or ask when you're looking to purchase a particular timer to make sure they have something like that will be able to sense the moisture in the earth, so that you won't be one of those people that actually have the sprinkler going on. Again, once it's a little bit hard to see, so once we're done, you can come and see our setup. It was a little much like a Lego set, right? You're putting things together, and all it is based on the zones that you have. This is probably a size of a small raised bed, so you can see the setup and see what we have. And it's something that I think will help you be more confident about growing your own garden.
I think this kit comes with about 30 of those connectors, so it does cover quite a large amount of planting. And some of these are not, you may not see them spreading out, but they actually do spread, but because we're using just a small pump, you're not seeing it. One of the connectors like this, it actually goes to about a 12 feet spread. So if you have like an area that you want to cover, and they have them in one directional spreads. So if you want it to go all that direction, or if you want it to go in a 30-degree direction, depending on your needs, they do have them. So depending on the size of the garden, your needs, you can purchase different connectors for them and make sure it works for you. Yeah. All right. Any question from anyone? No.
All right, so as soon as we're done, please feel free to come up, take a look at our setup here and see if it's something that you're interested in. We have, of course, a connection to it, so if you want to go check out the store to see what the whole system looks like and see if you can connect them together. I feel like you could do it, right? It's very simple, but I do want to encourage, especially people who want to have their own garden, want to grow their own fresh fruits. Don't be deterred, because it does take time to remember when to water. It does take time to check your soil and that sort of thing. But when you can use the technology to improve that, so you don't have to keep worrying, or the tragedy of seeing your plants die because you went away for the weekend or for the week or something. So we found that this to be the most effective in terms of keeping our garden growing. So we want you guys to enjoy your garden, enjoy growing your own plants, and this is one way. Installing micro sprinklers conserves water, and of course keeps your garden nice and fresh. Thank you again. Again, my name is Kay Mirage and my husband Linville, and we are the Island Gardeners. Thank you very much.